call the Topsail Beach Parks and Rec Board to order. Welcome to our audience. We love having our commissioners here. We hope that that means you feel some buy-in with what's going on with our committee. And we appreciated your warm reception. We know we don't know where we end up in the lot, but we did appreciate your warm reception when we made our capital improvement request. Do we have any public comments? The agenda was sent to you ahead of time. Do I hear a motion for its approval?
I move for it to be approved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. The minutes were also sent to you ahead of time. You had an opportunity to look them over. Do I hear a motion for their approval?
No.
Second, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And first up for our substantive business is an update on the town projects. And Bob said he just visited our new access point and he got his exercise.
All right, so access 11 repairs have been completed. That was the crossover and the subsequent ramp extension that we added, which is what delayed that project. We're waiting on camera approval. We will be adding a beach mat to that access this year. It typically didn't have one, but given the nature of that access, we felt it was a good candidate to have one, especially since we feel like we're going to make that as ADA compliant as possible. So we've got some work to do in the parking lot, but I'll talk about that in the future once we get to that. As you can probably tell, we started clearing the lot beside the water tank. That will be for a parking lot that is going in. This work's being done in-house, mostly by staff. 3H paving is on site patching the intersection of Inlet and Godwin. That work was supposed to be completed today, but they had a delay due to some equipment issues. Hoping to be back tomorrow to fix that. March 30th, we'll begin putting out the life rings, the beach mats, and we'll turn the rinsing stations back on. And then April 6th, we will switch the banners from the current welcome ones to the concert series banners that we had last year, which just have the fourth Tuesday? Yeah. Fourth Tuesday of the month for, advertising the concerts. So they stayed in relatively good shape. We're hoping to get another season out of those before we have to reorder. And that is all I have. If you have any questions.
Good job.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda would be the upcoming town events. And the first one is the Memorial Day wreath laying. One of the questions I had, you said the concert series banners will go up starting April the 6th. And Connie, assuming there's money in the budget, I wondered how you felt about having Rochelle mock us up a neat banner that has something to let people know that we're going to have a wreath laid. We do that ceremony twice a year. We wouldn't want to put dates on it because those dates, unless you all thought, but I just wondered that would be a way to get the word out, to let people know that we are putting the wreaths out to honor our military and patriotic days. What do y'all think? I don't know, Tom, would that be too much to take down? I would suggest like a week before the event.
That's what I was going to say. If you're not putting date specific on it, would it be just say wreath laying this Saturday, or is that enough time? Is that worth? Is that worth the change out?
We might could put Memorial Day and there are day specific. I don't know that they are date specific.
That's correct. It's Memorial Day and Veterans Day, so, and I don't know how much the banners are and what we have in there. It's possible we get one for Memorial Day and one for Veterans Day.
Keep in mind,
we have
Veterans Day, we will have the holiday banners will be up for Veterans Days in November.
Yeah.
So by that time, the advertising, the parade and all that will already be up.
And I do wonder, and I'm just thinking out loud because we hadn't discussed this in advance, but, you know, I mean, obviously it's just at the park, the wreath laying, it's a smaller ceremony and the event than what the concerts are for sure. So I wonder if it's something that we could do, but more specific at the park, at the location where the wreath hanging is. I don't know if that's a banner or what that might look
That
like.
would just be one to
One,
replace.
that's correct.
We could just change
That
the
one.
park banner, so.
I mean, what do you all think? Do you think it's worth it? It's,
Is it attended? No, what's the attendance?
when I've been, maybe
I would
25.
probably say 15, 20 people, and then plus the people that are usually doing the ceremony, which is about 5, maybe 6.
If I weren't on this committee, I probably would not know what was happening.
That's
And that's the reason I thought if we just put something up that would,
Is it advertised in the Friday things that go out from the town?
And yeah, and it's on our town calendar as well,
It
it seems, so. Maybe there's some little things in Facebook, but there's no physical announcement with a banner or flyer or anything like that.
So you wouldn't get tourists or anybody just down, it would just be people that were actually living.
Yeah, and it would be people that were maybe using, and, you know, we still do have people using the park even in November, I mean, so. But anybody who comes for pickleball or play at the playground, they could see it,
Yeah, if we put something there, yeah.
if we put something down there.
and I know usually we have someone go down and stop play. If I'm not
While the
mistaken, during the
ceremony's
ceremony, yeah. Just, and then the ceremony lasts,
And
I started to say, at the most 15, it's
Yeah.
a short ceremony. But it's a respectful amount.
That's one thing. It's an important,
yeah.
it's important.
If we're
And,
gonna-
and it is a respectful thing. And so if it's not too much trouble, you can put something out on the location. A lot of people drive by there, believe it or not, you know, and again, the people using the park, walking, they would see it because I wouldn't.
Well, what do you guys think about, in previous years, before we got the nice banners that we hang up? We had a banner that was at the park itself, that sat kind of on the ground in front of where the restrooms are. And it's a temporary thing, you know, of course, this would be a temporary thing. I don't know what you would think as Public Works with this, but maybe just one of those banners that's on site saying here, you know, on Memorial Day wreath hanging ceremony. And hours, I guess. We probably wouldn't be date specific, but it would be day specific with maybe the hours.
Oh, I like that. I still like one banner if that's not too expensive. I just think that is where, that will catch people quicker than anything.
You're not talking about replacing what you already have up, just a separate banner. Is that what you're referring to, like a ground?
The banner that I was speaking of that would be temporary would be just a temporary one by itself, sitting on the ground in that location. So any kind of foot traffic, they would see that. But the other banner would be the one that's up high on the pole at the intersection, in which we would change that, just that one of the 3 out, just for that kind of week, I guess, or week preceding. So it would replace a banner that's up, but just for a temporary time.
And it
frame.
takes us no time at all to swap those out, so.
So the one on the ground isn't gonna be a lot higher than this. I mean, it is, we've used it before and it's good. It's good information. But it's not one you're gonna, in my opinion, notice.
You'd rather, you just replace the one up top.
Just the one.
Yeah, just the one of the 3.
You can read both of them. One on the ground, it's easy to read when you're driving.
On the ground?
The one you just mentioned, you can move it up to 6 feet.
I kind of see what you're saying. I mean, I'm not looking up and reading stuff flying. If I'm driving, I'll look at something on the ground too.
I mean, we could probably do both. I don't know how.
It's PVC, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's, I think wooden stakes is usually what we put them on, and then the banner, so. And again, especially if we can design something that could be used multiple times, I think it might be worth it, but.
I think are you all in agreement that that Connie sees if that they just check it out, that they just sort of move forward. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't, but at least see what you think.
I think we'll make it happen.
Because it's always on the same day, like as in Monday.
Well, it's same day as in Veterans Day and Memorial Day. Memorial's always Mondays, Veterans Day. is not
Veterans
Monday.
always November
Yeah.
11th, so that's,
So that
that'll be.
changes.
So you can't say this Monday.
Right. No.
If you make that the official spot where you're gonna advertise, it's up, people get used to looking there.
Sure. I don't think it's too much for this, in this, instance to have both.
And if they're not, just see what you
And
think.
it might be interesting to see if, we get a better attendance with more, advertisements, so.
A lot of veterans on the aisle.
Absolutely. And with that in mind too, thank you for bringing that up. We, the town, are always looking for veterans or even, active military that are local that would like to participate in those two events in the years. We try to look for a service member from each branch to participate. So if you know anyone or anybody that's viewing and attending, just email Rochelle or get up with Rochelle with your name and number.
And to participate, just so the person would know, I mean, it's not a lot. You're basically, 3 people take the wreath and just put it up there. It's not as if you say things or invest a lot of personal effort or time.
No, it's not. It's, and, it's just basically 10 minutes and be a part of the ceremony and that's it.
Anything else on this one? Okay. The next is the summer concert series, which I'm
Yeah. So I am excited to say that we have now got, all of the, I'm sorry, I didn't have this. All of the concerts are now scheduled. We're excited to have, one returning. I don't know why I'm not finding it. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared. There we are. All right, so for this year's 2026 concert lineup, for May, we're going to have Bacon Grease returning. They were always really good, very good variety type band. Same type of band in June with the Cruz Brothers. They've been here before. And in July, we're going to have Taylor Bissett back, which he was a big hit last year. He's mostly country, but he does some other things as well, but, we got probably the most feedback from him, very positive. And then we have a new band going to come to us for August, and that's gonna be the Port City Rockers. So again, we're really excited that we've got all those already lined up, ready to go. As you guys, may or may not know, we partner with Pender County Parks and Recreation for those events. So Pender County is gracious enough to pay for 2 of those events. And then Topsail Beach pays for the other 2. They also always have staff that attend those concerts. They have little giveaways, and all of that. So they're very involved. They also, contact and schedule and book the bands. So they are a huge help when it comes to our concert series. So if you do come and you attend, make sure you thank one of the Pender County staff members there. Also this year, we are going to be having food trucks. We're still kind of working on that, but our intent is to have a food truck at each of the 4 concerts this year.
And they are the 4th Tuesday of each
Correct.
month.
Can we get 2 food trucks at the same time?
Probably not.
I mean, that was a long wait to get something that you ordered. They ran out of food last year.
Well, they actually did run out of food. It was at the end of the night, but wow, that was amazing. I'll be honest with you, he was a little bit of a, a trial and error. It was our first time having a food truck here. You've been to plenty of the concerts. Sometimes they're well attended, sometimes they're not. So we weren't sure what to expect. And so I think as our first food truck there, it went way better than we expected. We had a huge attendance. So, hopefully in the future, we can kind of be a little bit more prepared as to what to look for.
That's advertising.
That
Well,
bacon is really good too.
Well, advertising is
Fix that
next
name, but-
on the list. One of the things, I talked to Christina in a conversation we had before this about the summer concert series and our playground equipment and trying to draw attention to things, is to perhaps have somebody from the board sit at the table where the town staff, there, the town usually sets up a table right there to help facilitate things. And it's just the town, and I would be amenable, if y'all think so, to having a member of the board there, not sit at the table the entirety of the concert, but maybe at the beginning or when there are a lot of people up there, just to give more of a board and community face and, to that. If we could just pick one if we're gonna be in town. What do y'all think?
We go anyway.
I knew Bob did. I might have to make a special effort, but it would not be really an effort. It would just be an excuse to get me here quicker.
I think that's a good idea. I didn't realize that, because I've only been to one, but I didn't realize that each one of them had food trucks.
They did not, they have not in the past. At the last concert of the last summer series, we brought in a food truck as, like I said, kind of like a test.
Mhm.
You know, we weren't sure what kind of attendance, and actually even with the September concert, the attendance there is usually, you know, smaller than what you get in like June and July for sure. So we just weren't sure what to expect, but it turned out to be greater than we thought. And, everybody was, again, the feedback was real positive, and let's do this again. So I think that's going to help the attendance of the concerts.
So is that advertised the same, like on the Sunshine List, when you get the announcement, it says, remember, we had concert series starting, whatever, does it say that there's a food truck there?
It will this year. It sure will. And we didn't really advertise it last year all that well either. Again, kind of putting it out there and testing it.
And I will, give kudos to Pam, who's not here today. My memory might be wrong, but I think she's one of the first people who a while back suggested having a food truck or something to involve the merchants. And I know we were hesitant at first because we didn't want to take business away from our local merchants. But, so thankfully working with the staff, it came to be. And I'm only doing that to give everyone on this board a pat on the back to say your ideas are worth it. And it takes a while to get them there, but they get there.
The wheels of government move slowly.
Right. But I think it was well received, and it was, I'm not mistaken, I think it was maybe Pam that mentioned that at some point, adding that as a feature.
Yeah, and to add on to, what we were talking about with having a member there present, we were hoping to have some sort of a flyer, a handout, something that would talk about hopefully that the Parks and Recreation Board, we're looking to get new playground equipment. And so that's something that maybe if you're there could speak to that, and maybe we can hopefully get somebody to donate to the fund.
Yep, which brings us, is there anything left on the concert series?
Just wondering if you could do a dance floor in the concert. I mean, people get up and dance, but it's tough to dance in the grass. But
Yeah,
is there a place you can rent one, or?
I'm not sure about that. I mean, I can certainly check into it. I'm not sure what it would, if we could do that, or we could do it for the, if we could do it for the grass, I'm not sure, but.
Be like Hitch, don't move your feet, just try.
Working.
Stay in circle. That would be
No,
neat.
but this encourage dancing, so certainly we would love that. I will say too that Tom and I had conversations about, making sure that the lawn is prepared. We had a couple of incidences in the past where maybe, the lawn wasn't cut the way it should have been and all that. So all of those things would help as well. But we're on a system now, so we should have a nice lawn for everybody to get out there and dance, even if we don't have a dance floor out there.
It leads us to our next general topic of advertising. And, Bob, I'll just let you know that we have two commissioners here, and both Lewis and Mike were at the meeting where we presented our capital improvement request to the commissioners. I thought it was well received. That doesn't mean it will be funded, but I think everyone recognized the need for new equipment and I believe that we had done our due diligence in making that recommendation. And going with that, we've always said that we knew there needed to be a way to raise money to supplement whatever the town gave us. And we believe that it needs to be in place before the first concert. So that people have an opportunity. And when we're looking at that, I just started, I feel like we need a theme, we need a short message, just something. So I guess I should give all credo to ChatGPT, who is my new best friend. But in here, I just wanted y'all to look, and if you'll pull the back sheet out first, where it says campaign option 1. And all of these are just quickly thought of. I just want to get your thoughts, because in my mind, we need sort of a slogan or a message, and then what we'll need next is how to carry that message forth, and then lastly, how to recognize contributors. So in my mind, there's 3 things I wanted to at least get us down the path on today. Based on what I told it, there were 3 options that were given, and I thought they were good, and I didn't play with them very much. So I just want to see if you all like any of them, or if you have one you like. We can always change it, is what I'm saying. The first one is they said it was warm and community focused. And for the people in the audience, the slogan would be build the joy at Topsail Beach Park. The short message would be help us replace our playground and create a safe, beautiful space where children can climb, laugh, and play for years to come. Every gift builds the joy. And then the website version would be Topsail Beach Park has long been a place where families gather and children create summer memories. We are raising funds to replace our aging playground equipment with a safe, modern space to play. Whether you live here year-round or visit each summer, your contribution helps build the joy for the next generation. And yeah, I feel like this campaign is important if we get the funding. It becomes extremely important if we don't get the funding. The next option sort of on that was they said legacy and generational. Today's gifts, tomorrow's play. Your donation helps replace our playground so future generations can swing higher, climb farther, and laugh louder at Topsail Beach Park. Playgrounds are where childhood happens. With your support, we will replace our current equipment with a safe, updated play space that reflects the spirit of our community. Residents and builders, visitors alike are invited to invest in tomorrow's play. And the third one was coastal and belonging. Love Topsail, support the playground. If Topsail Beach holds a special place in your heart, help us create a new playground where children can play safely and families gather. Topsail Beach Park is part of what makes our community special. We are launching a Friends of the Park campaign to replace our existing playground equipment. Every contribution, large or small, helps ensure this beloved space continues to serve families for years to come. So now I'm going to open it up. Do any of these 3 speak to you? And if not, where would you like to sort of go?
I like the first one a lot, better than the third. And the second one is good, but I like the first one a lot.
Okay.
I have one question though. When are we gonna know in the budget if we have, is that June?
July, well, it will probably be June. At the June
June.
meeting is when the budget should be adopted. So,
Can-
which would be effective July 1st.
Can we start a campaign in May if we don't have the money in June?
Sure, I
Because-
think the campaign itself is just to raise funds for parks and recreation. I think the ultimate goal being to help towards replacing the playground equipment, but also it is a fund that we're going to be building, which could also be used for other projects that the Parks and Recreation.
Will we have to say that then in the website? Because this would say we're raising funds to replace this playground.
Yeah, and I think that we've sort of had this conversation a lot as we move forward with this. I think setting up a fund, it's going to be sort of universal to all parks and recreation projects, right? So if we end up getting, $100, well, and we don't get any other additional funding, it's going to be less likely that we're going to be able to go with the playground equipment. But there may be another project that we could use that funding on. So I think as long as we message it that way.
Okay, because if I wanted to give money toward the playground and it goes and it's spent on something else, we don't have any issues with that.
Well, I think what we need to word it is a way that it's going into a Parks and Recreation fund. And the ultimate goal of the Parks and Recreation Board, or the priority goal at this time, is a playground
Right.
replacement.
Okay.
I think, and look, we'll fine tune this. This is not where we etch anything in. We just need to know where we are to fine tune it. And, my thoughts are that we can only say, you cannot, this is the current focus, is the playground equipment. And if we dot every single I, our message gets too long. So I feel like that this is not meant to be the campaign for years to come. It's just for the immediate, because that's our immediate focus. But I understand what you're saying, and we can keep.
Almost like we're raising funds for the Parks and Recreation Board to pursue the replacement of it, but not that it's only gonna go for that, or any other funds might be cool. But I see what you're saying.
Yes, and what I hope is that the line item that we have and the Parks and Recreation Fund, that to me will be, I mean, it goes on and on and on until it's ended. But what our different projects are will change from year to year or multi-year to multi-year. And we can make sure that we say this is a fund, but I feel like that what we're doing now, I don't believe this would be what we would have in 2 years.
Mhm.
You know, then we might be multi-pickleball courts, or it might change to adult exercise equipment, or it might actually change to a multi-use path. I mean, whatever our focus is,
Putting green.
cutting green, yeah. You know, the idea, but I feel like what we're trying to do right now, people give if there's a reason to give. They're not gonna give to the Parks and Rec or whatever this board
General
decides.
fund. So you're-
Right.
you need to
But
see-
so for right now, to generate it, this is what our campaign is for, is how I look at it. Well, bottom let's see where y'all are on 1, 2, or 3.
I think 2 years ago, I didn't think anything about the Parks and Rec, you know. And last year I started thinking, this year we're really active. We're really getting our, you know what, together. And everything we're talking about is all leads back to the same thing. It's an image. You want this to be when somebody drives the street, oh, they're having the truck with the music and, you know, they're putting up new swings and people know what's going on. And that's when they'll start giving money. And I don't mean $5 and $10 bills. I mean big.
So we've got some greatness, but thinking about this, which of these do you like any of them, or how would you rank them? Like 1, 2, or 3?
I'll talk to Jim and I'll call you back.
I like the first one to start off with because of building the joy. However, with that being said, almost everybody that I talk to that has been at Topsail Beach, they love Topsail Beach, and I like the third message. Just for me. Because I believe that speaks, does Topsail Beach hold a special place in your heart?
Yeah.
I would say that there's a large number of people who would say that. I think it would they could identify with it.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying. It's a long term. That should be a long term, not just what's happening this week.
well, what if I work on it to try to?
Long term.
Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out number 2, and we're gonna see if we can merge the first and the third. How about that? We'll see if we can sort of merge those messages.
Give them another prompt.
I know, look, honestly, my husband's starting to get jealous of all the time I spend with ChatGPT. Just kidding. Let's go to the second thing, so that we'll work on the message. Where I want us to go next, and if y'all think these are too corny, I won't. Look at the sheet that has option A, option B. It's this sheet that has the cute little symbols. You see, Christina, are you with me? Michelle? Okay. You know, if y'all remember, we mocked up a page. One of the ways we were for the website that Rochelle did for us. We pretty much copied Autumn with Topsail with gold, silver, bronze, whatever those categories are and were. Right now, I don't think we're far enough to think how would we recognize donors except for the web page. where we would list. And our thoughts, as you recall, was to say, and we can revise this, names stay on the list for a year and a quarter. Okay, full calendar year plus the first quarter of the next year. Well, let's see, maybe the last, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Like basically a year. You wouldn't pay one time and get to stay on that list forever and ever. It would be recognizing contributions made during the calendar year or fiscal, whatever we want. But remember, we weren't gonna leave it. But these are, I thought, cutesy ways to recognize the different gifts. And I just wondered if y'all thought they were too corny or if you liked them. And for the audience, you don't have a piece of paper. It would be things like sandbox supporter, and it would be to tie in with this current thing. We would not use this for all time. Swing sponsor, climber champion, playground partner, joy builder, legacy leader, or it said combining them, seashell supporter, sandcastle builder, sunrise hero, horizon hero, legacy leader. Or we can go back to the whole gold, silver, bronze, platinum. But I just wondered what you all thought of these little sort of things centered around. You like them?
I think they're great.
If you put it that way, you don't want to go bronze, gold, silver. No.
Yeah.
No, this is, yeah, obviously if you're going for the playground, I like option A. The other's a little more generic.
Yeah. And I thought having like a little symbol. Rochelle has it. Maybe she can sort of work these in. And this would just be, say, on our web page where you recognize gifts. But if y'all like that, okay, then. What's going on?
Yeah.
And then the last item, at least on my mind, we'll open it up after that, is how to begin letting people know about this opportunity. One, it will be the sunshine list initially, but we can't put it in there every time it goes out. I would, but I hear it's not always new news, and that's only for new news. We have the spot on our webpage, but I don't know how many people will see it. We've talked about perhaps a QR code on the bottom of our banners as we replace them. We could possibly, as we replace them with new ones that we don't already have, we could add a QR code onto them. We could have handouts, say at the concert or somewhere where we put QR codes. Somehow we have to get the word out. And I do not know social media. I think it's generational, or maybe it's just me. But I'm hoping that somebody may know something about how we can get it out. These were just ideas of little sayings, which I do like. These were post ideas. These are not for now, but I think this is something we could do maybe every month. We just send something out. This summer, you can help build the next generation of play at Topsail Beach Park. We're replacing, and every gift helps. QR code. And then, we can just sort of use these. These are things I was hoping would help the staff, or like if we just need to send out a little blurb. Oh, it needs to be different every time, and this could get us through a few months. The caption, making memories at Topsail this week. Help the next family do the same. Whether you live here or every summer, you can be a summer playground champion. Even 25, with a QR code. We might put this on a something. What do y'all think, or any other ideas that you may have for how to get the word out?
Is this a long term or a one time?
Um,
And how much money do you hope to raise?
I do not have a goal in mind, unless you all might. You can.
I think
don't
it's
know.
great. I just think, usually it's, if you pick a landing spot, it's a lot easier
Yes.
to take, then you taper this to fit.
I like it though.
And that depends on how much and if we get
Yeah.
initial money, so.
So you think maybe we start with this, but are in a position to go with the flow as needed to create a goal.
Yeah, like maybe in July when we know more, say, okay, put the thermometer somewhere and say we're halfway up.
Yeah.
We're halfway to our 100,000 or whatever. Did someone say someone donated when they did it last time? There was a huge donation came
I
in.
think it was 30,000.
30,000?
Playgrounds.
More like
So maybe
So,
200.
20, I'm sorry.
Something big.
40, I'm sorry, 40.
Marty?
That person's still here. Okay. We got empty chairs there.
Well, I guess I'm looking
I
to,
like, these are, I think the QR code at the concert, if one of us is there, is a great idea, because right there, they can show it to them, they can put in their phones and just do whatever.
the other thing I had mentioned, is what I call a sandwich board, and I noticed that's what the Topsail skating rink has. That, when I was trying to describe to you, that's what I'm talking about. Maybe
Yeah.
you know, if we had something that size,
At the park.
at the park, and we had the logo of the town or some catchy phrase on it. I noticed the skating rink, they must have had it prepared for them, because it has it's not as if pieces of paper are taped on it, is what I'm saying. It's.
Larry's does too.
And
Larry's really-
I noticed one for a fishing charter also as I came into the beach. So I don't know how expensive those are, but I think it would be worth seeing. And if it's not, then whatever we come up with as our little slogan could be on there, with a little short message and a QR code that could at least be there during the concerts.
We can't sell stuff like T-shirts and stuff, can we? Is
I don't know that we could.
that illegal? We allowed to sell like T-shirts and stuff in the park? You know, like concerts and stuff like that?
The t-shirts that we already have that we sell.
What
in
if it's
Marina,
in Topsail Beach?
was it, we sell at the Marina? I would imagine we probably could, I think. I would have to check in on that.
It's a free concert.
The concert's free, but the swag is not.
Yeah, that's right.
I know. Yeah.
Can we charge more than the marina so the extra comes to the Parks and Recreation Trust Fund? Just kidding.
Yeah, just kidding.
Christina and
The
Rashida.
handout part, I think, is probably as effective as anything with the QR code on it, as opposed to putting up signs. You can, they gotta actually look at it and see, as opposed to, then you are handing things out to people. I don't know if the countdown wants
You
to.
don't want to get it too commercialized.
That's true.
You know, you
And that may not be
want
the way to
to
go.
come to the image and enjoy and everything, but yet you say, okay, come here and buy this T-shirt for $45. That don't,
Yeah,
But do you think you could hand something
yeah, I
out?
think you should hand something out, a QR code. I think that would be fine.
Bring that,
To answer your question.
be a person there to, don't just send them to a sign with a QR code and make them go look at it, stand there, and when they, are reading it, hi, I'm on the Parks and Recreation Board, put a face
Yeah.
to it, make it personable.
And that with the sandwich board, because I think the sandwich board right there would get people that are visiting, they're coming and using the park and say, this is a great park, here's $20.
And if it's on there, I'm not necessarily wanting a piece of paper, but it's very easy these days. I have become this day
And
savvy. I can scan a QR
Yeah.
code really fast for Chick-fil-A, for all kinds of places. So, people are used to doing that. And
Yeah.
even sitting there, you can, if it's large enough on a sandwich board, sitting in your chair, you could.
Yep.
zero in.
Yeah, and anybody who's curious to get more information, they can do that, and it's not, it's not overwhelming for them. If you want more information, here's where you go find it, and that QR code can send them to where the information that they're looking for.
One thing that came to mind as you were talking. But do y'all know what I mean by one of those old fashioned fans? It's like it's on a little stick. You do like this?
When you open it,
No, not a, like a,
battery.
no, not even like a battery. It's on what I.
Like a church with no air conditioning.
Fan.
A church fan
Okay.
with no air
I
conditioning.
don't know how much, I've seen them at what, I wonder how much those would be if they're nominal. That would be something great to pass out for free with our logo saying and QR code on it. And my guess, if you're out there and the no-see-ums are there, you're gonna be wanting to use it.
well,
No,
and
that's a good idea.
yeah, and to build on that, we actually have been looking, staff has been looking already for some of those types of items to have available, because like I told you, Pender County will bring those items. We've not had any to give out. And so we've said this year, we would like to have some things, little things of bug spray or little hand sanitizers, chalk for the kids. Fans are a good idea. So little things like that we could have at the table for people to come up and little giveaways. So that, those are good ideas. I would, yeah,
If you do something at the, I think the park concert is a great idea. If you can have a picture of what you think you want to put out, that helps people give. Because an image in their head may not do it, but to actually see something, oh, that'd be great to have.
Of the playground,
Of-
proposed playground itself.
Yeah, something visual. I know you don't have it decided exactly what you want, but.
I think it could be a mock-up of
Yeah, you
something
said
that would be
publish-
similar.
Buy a car, but if you show them the car, they get excited.
Well, we have thrown out lots of ideas, which of course the staff will need to take. Do you feel that you have enough from us to get us off go?
I recommend you.
I know, I'm looking at Rochelle, I'm sort of glancing at Christine, but I'm really looking at Rochelle because we know she's
Where the work
the,
gets done.
Well, you have a site that you have dealt with before that's what I call swag material, where it'd be crayons or.
Yeah, we haven't really, but we reached out to a neighboring town who does a lot of those types of things, and they've given us a couple of websites to look at. So we've gone through a couple of those websites already and looked around.
so I don't think you could put, and I know that everything does not need to be geared towards this campaign, and I don't know you can do it with hand sanitizer or anything, but something sort of large, like a fan, please keep it in mind as you're looking if it would be appropriate to take.
That'd be pretty inexpensive things.
And they're just good to have, I mean, regardless, it would be nice to have those types of things for people. I've been to all of the concerts, I think, that since they've started. Always fans and bug spray are always two of the big ones that people are looking for. So, to have them as little giveaways, that's just not, I mean, people enjoy those types of things.
And you're thinking the QR code on that fan.
I'm thinking that we will work. I feel like what we've been told is you like campaign options 1 and 3, and we're gonna try to merge them.
Yep.
And I feel like we'll have time to still make orders if we wait and make a final decision at the April meeting. If we find that we're behind the 8 ball and need a decision sooner, we will email you. I would not want to get ahead of the horse. But if we were to do this, I would think on the fan, we'd at least have the slogan, possibly the slogan and the short message, just depends, but definitely the slogan and the QR code. And I feel like at the park, if we're there at the concert series, I guess there's, during a welcome or an intermission or something, we could explain in about 3 or 4 minutes. Nobody wants to listen to a spiel.
Yeah.
But we could just briefly either talking to people, explain it.
Right.
Because if the fan just had the slogan and the QR code, I think we'd have a sandwich board or a handout that would have the rest. So it would become explanatory to people.
We could leave it there, just, yeah.
And I like the idea of an image. We have an image that we were given. I just don't want anybody to get locked into the image. Because we hope that, what he showed us was generic. We want to make it more personal, the Topsail Beach, maybe with the Topsail Beach flag somewhere on the, we want it to be more personal and we won't have that. But if we just put sort of what we're envisioning. Anything else before we move to the? All of this has been from the past. We're now moving to the next thing, which is whether or not you all have anything you want to, at this point, put out for our priorities and goals for this year, 2026. You've seen, Bob and I have seen how long it takes to get a goal together. We're sort of at the end of the loop on the playground. We're at the end of phase 1 of the loop on the playground. Is there anywhere you all can think that you want us to start looking and building on for the future? And it doesn't have to be today, not trying to strike you cold. We'll have that on there for every meeting for a while.
Oh, I don't know how that works. I don't know what is planned as far as Yeah, for instance, you gave some, some plans that you're planning on doing, but is there any plans to maybe do more washing stations, or is that pretty much what you decided, that you decided you're gonna pretty much stick with what you got there? What we presently have, or are you trying to do more, you're trying to do anything more at any of the other entrances to?
No, we're not looking to add any rinsing stations. The one at the park, we are gonna replace that, with the same design that we did at the accesses, but there's no plans right now to add at any of the other accesses.
Didn't we add one or two this year?
We did, we added to, number 11, number 14, and we didn't do 16. There was another one, I don't remember all.
So we did increase the number this past year over what we had in the past. And we addressed water usage. That was a big thing. And that thanks to Tom's design or his folks' design, it seems like water usage is not an issue.
There's a lot of money on water now.
Does the south end, at the very south end parking lot back there, does that fall under this jurisdiction here to a degree?
Yes, it does. We, actually the town just purchased that, access, about an acre of property there.
Right, but that's not
last year.
kind of parking.
Yeah, the parking lot itself and then a little bit of land beyond that. That's correct. Because we leased it
That's right.
prior to that. So now we own that property.
I just want to bring up that, and I have no idea what the answer is. But if you've been down there, and Tom knows, you go down there in the summertime, place is a disaster on Saturday morning and Sunday morning. Saturday mornings in particular, just because of the trash and the portalets and all that. I mean, there are a lot of people there, and it gets misused pretty badly. So I don't know if there is an answer to that. I'm certainly not suggesting we build something, but I don't know what the answer is, whether it's more service strips. I don't really know, but I mean, don't y'all have someone from the town that goes down there and tries to keep that place policed?
We do, and we also, towards the end of the summer, we switched porta potty companies. And we also upped the 3 days a week. From previously, it was 2 days a week.
Right.
And I know that the numbers weren't because it was towards the end of the year, we don't know if it was, because we switched companies and they were more attention to detail, or just because there was less traffic. But we weren't getting as many, really, I didn't get any complaints after we switched companies. But now, with the full season ahead of us, we'll see what that is. And we have someone that at least visits that every day, but they're typically here like on Saturday and Sunday. They're only here in the morning. So you have that whole day until they come back in the next morning, that stuff can accumulate.
And it's the only place that I see, all the rest of them are maintained pretty well. That place it's just overflowing. And so I didn't know if you know about it. And I'm sure that you already have addressed it, just be curious to know if that's addresses it enough for the summer coming up. So, okay.
Well, we'll see with the changes that we made, we'll see that for sure.
Okay.
I'll have to think on this. I haven't.
I think for me, if I were thinking long range, and I don't know how it would be to keep our, whatever we want to call them, whether we want to call it a sidewalk or a multi-use path, to keep them repaired, maintained, and serviceable. That would be, and we're already doing that. I know we had a company, I know that's built in a little bit, but I do think those are important. I think they're very important north of here because there's no side roads. People, I would think, would use them a lot to get from their homes. So
Yeah, many residents have told me that we don't have 3 or 4 streets to walk on over here and not get run over. They only have one, the main one. So that path is used more. And it's probably worn down more quicker.
So, I mean, that's something I would like to start. We had a discussion, and I know we've received something, somebody talking about grants and a bike path and that kind of thing. And so I would like for us to educate ourselves. We did this once before. We had the folks from DOT and COG who run our, what do we want to say, staff, the grant committee that we've been part of going on for years and years, and we always rank very low. In getting that grant, I don't see anything that's gonna move. The only thing I think from our educational meeting last year that will move the needle on us getting a grant is if the town is willing to provide a matching grant of a large sum. I would think it would have to be at least 80% match. And it's very expensive. I don't see that happening, but I believe that's about the only way we're gonna move the needle. But I think we need to educate. I think it's always good for us to be educated because it is a topic that comes up a lot. And I think we also need to know the difference between a bike path and a sidewalk pedestrian path and which is most important. Last year, this board felt that the most pedestrian path was more important than a bike path per se. You know, that's how it's used. As much as we cyclists would like to see it. You know, so.
I don't think you can maintain the, smoothness of the road that you need to.
But I would love to
separate
see it.
path.
I'd love to re-educate us. I think we can't know it enough. And to know, and to be realistic about what our grant prospects are. Just not high. So then it becomes, what can we do to maintain what we already have and how to make that a priority? That's for me. Anything else? And like I said, we'll keep that agenda item on here. So if you think of something, you know, it's never too late to decide.
Are we gonna have a budget for Parks and Recreation?
Yeah.
So if we get collect money for the equipment, will it go into that fund until we're ready to pay for it?
Yeah, we'll have a line item for Parks and Recreation. I guess donations, I don't know how to be labeled.
So hypothetically, we go out and spend 200, buy the equipment, we still have some money in the account. So smaller things like flags and stuff, we don't have to make a major.
You'll have a separate budget line item for the capital outlay playground equipment for $200,000 currently. And there's going to be 17,000 for Parks and Recreation. Remember, we talked about we were going to combine festivals and Parks and Recreation.
And we talked about, having Connie do a little presentation, especially with some new, members here. So we'll probably do that, but I'd like to get a little closer to when the budget's a little bit more finalized before we do that. But then that'll kind of lay out and tell you where we take certain things out of and where the line items are so that you can be better educated with your fund, with your.
It was
budget.
very helpful when Connie, you gave us that presentation last year. And it was through that presentation that she began to see where we could realign some things. Of course, that takes approval. So we won't know until the budget comes out, I think, and sort of which of those ideas held and which did, as far as combining line items.
We will be presenting this to our board and mayor and board for what we're proposing, and then that will be them to approve it or not.
So this is probably gonna be our July or August meeting, just because we won't know. When we meet in June, the board, I don't think will have made your decision yet.
No.
So it's gonna be probably July or August before we have that presentation.
Yeah, but that's good. I mean, that's good for you guys to know. What is the fund and where are the things coming from? What comes out of the Parks and Recreation budget? So,
What are we really responsible for? Yeah.
and honestly, this budget this year, I think it's going to look differently. I mean, based of course on what's approved ultimately, but how we're proposing it's going to look a little differently because we are now seeing this board really take shape, and be active and start to have a specific role. So we're going to be able to kind of tailor that budget for that purpose. So this will be a good time to educate everybody on that.
Our next item agenda is just confirming the next meeting date, which will be the first Tuesday in April. I know you have the date, Rochelle, did you?
7th?
April 7th. Well, we've heard from you, we've heard from all of you throughout the meeting, but do you have anything else you would like for us to know? Or suggest, or?
I have one more question. Can we have a presence at the, what do you call it, Autumn and Topsail? I know you all sit there, but can we have a separate one for Parks and Recreation?
We all sit there, not typically, but we could certainly look at getting a tent. We have a tent. And if this is something that, gets approved and we know that this campaign is on, that's a really good idea.
I mean, that's where you could get a $5 pledge and give them some swag, you know?
Certainly an option. We have had a tent in the past when we had our 30th anniversary, celebration. We had some t-shirts and,
Put it right
things
next
like
to the
that.
beer tent.
They do it inside. Well, that's October, so we'll definitely know by then, and I would, like, what we're doing today is just trying to get this campaign rolling. But hopefully by and sadly, we can't really get it rolling till we know what the budget is, which is the end of the summer. But we can't wait till the end of the summer because we will have lost valuable time. But hopefully we'll have enough in place that by October, we'll be ready to ask Autumn and Topsail for a booth. Or I don't know how that works. I'm just talking, but hope we don't have to pay for one.
I'll look into that for
We have
you.
to pay for one. We're setting up outside the gate. Does anyone on the board have any comments they'd like to make?
Sir.
You've done a great job. Oh, your friend Chad.
Yeah.
Very
My new BFF. Thank you. With that, do I hear a motion that we adjourn?
Yes, you do.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Bye.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much.